Yo, what is up, guys? No, I'm just playing. So, you guys seem to really enjoy the COD game tier list, so I thought for at least the S tier games, just the S tier games, I would make weapon tier lists. And it's gonna be pretty subjective because I'm kind of just remembering what it felt like when I was 13, 14 to play with these weapons. I will add in some objectivity, but I do not have like stats available to me to back that up right now, but I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on what was good and what was bad in this game, and there really wasn't a ton of bad. There was a lot of really good weapons in this game, so really don't be surprised if I end up putting a lot of them in S tier. I will try to make S tier like have the least amount of guns as possible because that's how tiers work. But yeah, these guns are going to be ranked basically on kind of how they were placed in the meta, not really. It's going to be based on gun feel, it's going to be based on time to kill, it's going to be based on accuracy, iron sights, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it, but one more thing. This list has primaries, secondaries, it has it all. So when I rank a secondary or special or anything like that, of course it's not going to be as powerful as any primary or anything, so I'm going to rank them and I'm going to say like, as far as secondaries go, you know, and then kind of rank them like that. I will admit I will have some trouble ranking specials because I will be completely honest with you, I did not really run launchers a ton or anything like that, but it looks like the only, yeah, I didn't run a ton of launchers, but we'll see when we get there. So let's start off with assault rifles. Everyone knows assault rifles, so start off with the AN-94. This might be a bit of a subjective S tier, but I'm gonna put it there because I absolutely loved the way this gun felt. Gun feel was incredible. It's just like had this recoil that just felt really good. It's gonna sound weird, but it felt like you were shooting at like a real human being, and it felt really, really good. Don't report me. Anyway, so the iron sight was pretty good. It was like this kind of square. It had a little thing in the middle, and I thought it was really easy to use. I mean, a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was pretty easy to use. A lot of power behind it, not the highest fire rate, but that's how AKs go. And as far as AKs go, Call of Duty always really does a good job with them, so S tier AN-94. Let's start with a less popular one, the SMR. The SMR is a discount FAL, and the FAL is B tier. Pretty quick, right? The FAL killed pretty quickly, but the reason it's B tier is because you need to have a trigger finger. I know a lot of you guys may be like,
I have a sick trigger finger, I need to FAL the best gun in the game!
yeah, okay, cool. But at the same time, if you're going up against any other weapon that's fully automatic, any other assault rifle that's fully automatic, especially with the way the assault rifles were, and any other weapon was in this game, you're probably not going to win that gun battle if someone can just aim, maybe even a little better than you. So, FAL, pretty powerful weapon, but it's keeping I mean, I don't think it can be as powerful as these automatic weapons in this game, so that's why it's B tier. And then, like I said, the SMR is a discount FAL. It just wasn't as good. It just had it had more recoil. I think the delay for the fire rate was a lot slower, so you couldn't really trigger finger it that well. Especially with the kind of higher recoil it had. So that's where those are going to end up, the two semi-autos. The M8A1, that's an S tier weapon. The thing was basically like, at one point it just felt like a sniper. Like, you'd think someone snipes you, and then the kill cam, you'd see an M8 just with a red dot aimed at your like forehead, and you just absolutely just got deleted. It was a laser. It was like a 4-shot burst, if I remember. It had good iron sights, reminded me of the ACR from MW3 with like the kind of bloom that it had a little bit, with like its two little things right there. But put anything on this gun, it was basically gonna melt. With no attachments on this thing, melted. Fully kitted out, it melted. Of course, in those days in Call of Duty, you couldn't really fully kit your guns, but like as far as you could do in that game, you know, the gun was just a monster. I don't even need to talk about it anymore. MTAR, if you could use any other assault rifle, you probably should, other than the SMR. The MTAR was just that kind of that first weapon that's like average DPS, average everything, average average time to kill, average recoil. It's just very kind of mediocre, kind of okay, and it might be a higher tier weapon in other games, the other Call of Duty games, but in Black Ops 2, when so many weapons were so good, it's okay. Like I said, if you can help it, use any other assault rifle. The M27 is an A tier weapon because it was really accurate, kind of a laser. Supposed to put a grip on that baby. Time to kill though was a little bit slower than the S tier assault rifle, so that's why it's an A tier. But I remember feeling like an absolute like unit when I was using this gun. I don't know, it was something about it where I just felt like a Navy SEAL. I just kind of infiltrate like the house, one of the houses on Nuketown, and just kind of be like, I just really felt really accurate, like I was some commando. Pretty cool weapon. Iron sights were decent, but I usually would put a scope on it, or a sight on it rather. But yeah, really decent weapon, A tier. This is my second time recording this tier list because the first time I said I was going to do it by class, and I ended up missing a ton of weapons each class, so it just was messy, and I thought I would redo it. Ooh. I didn't want to put any weapons in trash tier, but if the SMR was a discount FAL, the SWAT was like, the SWAT was a discount SMR. You know what I mean? It just, oh, put a silencer on the SMR, call that the ASMR. But, as far as, yeah, it wasn't very good. Oh, I said it was a discount SMR. It's more of a discount M8, like a very, very discount M8, because it just never really, it would rarely kill in one burst lots of times, had a high recoil, it just, you would use any other assault rifle over that. Sorry, it was a burst, not a single fire. That's my not a semi-automatic. That's my bad. Discount everything. Just don't use a SWAT 5.56. The Type 25, I believe, was called in this game. It's alright. It was okay, you know. The recoil for me is what gets it. I don't like bullpup weapons. There's something about them. Usually I just don't really vibe with those in COD, but it was okay. Not really much to say about it. I believe it was full auto in this game. I think in one game it wasn't, but yeah. Iron sight was like kind of weird. It was really blocky to me. Didn't really like the gun. It was okay. Scar. The Scar is always pretty powerful, so I'll put it in A tier. It's always pretty accurate. Iron sight's always pretty good, so I'll put it in A tier. But it just doesn't match the power of these guns here, honestly. And you could really lock on with these two weapons right here, especially, and even the M27. And the Scar was just, in a gun battle, you'd have to be a lot more accurate mechanically than you'd have to be with these three weapons. So that's why the Scar is in A tier, not S tier. Making sure we don't miss any guns in the categories. I'm trying to be very, very professional about this, guys. Being very careful. I swear if I miss one, like, I'm gonna really kill myself. Like, really put me on suicide watch. Okay. I think we got all the SRLs out of the way. Right? Moving on to SMGs. SMGs. The MSMC for me is very, very S tier. This is probably my main weapon I use throughout the whole game. Had good iron sights, had a decent rate of fire for an SMG, a little slow maybe, but it hit like a truck. It could really challenge any assault rifle at any range, plus you could run around with it like a Banshee. So it was good. It was just really good all around. I think pound for pound, like, it's probably for me, the best gun in the game, for at least my play style. So MSMC, easy S tier. Another really easy S tier SMG is the MP7. The MP7 is always overpowered. Pretty much in every Call of Duty, it's really, really good. The 2 years, Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 2 right after that, the MSMC was just, I mean, the MP7 was just insane in those games. Super accurate, really clean iron sight, high rate of fire. I mean, basically, the thing was just, like, if you put a laser on it as well, like, you could just run around and just hit fire this thing, and it was just really ridiculous. The only gun that might have been better at hip fire kills, might have been a faster time to kill in general, is the Scorpion, which is going to be a B tier weapon, simply because it just could not challenge anybody at any sort of range. You would just get outgunned if anyone knew how to aim, like, worth a lick. And it was really, really good at close range, so I think it was a balanced weapon. As far as balanced weapons go, the Scorpion's very balanced, but unfortunately in a game with so many good weapons at, like, kind of overpowered weapons, the Scorpion doesn't really shine through. Like I said, stop a laser sight on this baby, just kind of go ham, trying to get close range on, like, really, really small maps, and you'd be fine. But any long range engagements, you're probably losing with that recoil. Alright, so I want to know what you guys call this gun. Do you guys call this gun the Chickum or the Chicom? I remember playing on PS3 with my friends. We call this gun the Chicom. And I go to Xbox, play with like my friends on Xbox, Luke, Jason, etc. And we called this gun the Chickum. Now, I called it the Chicom the first time I mentioned it to them, and they laughed at me. They were like, bro, what did you just say? I was like, the Chicom. They're like, that sounds stupid. And so I was like, alright, fine, Chickum. I was like, that sounds like chicken, but whatever. Anyway, you might as well have been shooting friggin' chickens. That was a bad joke. Like I said, I didn't say it, but the gun is pretty underpowered. Iron Sight was like really kind of ew. It was like this triangle, and it just wasn't that great. Recoil was pretty high too. It was a burst gun, but it wasn't like a powerful burst gun. I don't know what they were doing with this weapon. It's not a good weapon. The Vector, probably the worst Vector variation I've seen in any Call of Duty. It may just be because there are so many other good SMGs to use, but it just went through its mag like really super quick, which means it had a high rate of fire, but it also had pretty decent recoil too. And honestly, if you're gonna go with high rate of fire, you might as well use the MP7 or the Scorpion. It's just kind of a discount version of those guns. Not very great. I don't really see why you would run it over the other weapons that could do what it did better. Making sure we're not missing any. Okay, we have okay. The PDW, A tier. PDW was very, very S tier to start the game. In the early meta, but it caught a nerf. I forget what was nerfed. Probably the accuracy and some of the damage output. But the thing honestly could just melt. It was the MSMC before the MSMC kind of rose above it after the patches, and it still was really good throughout the whole cycle. Like I remember people just using this like throughout the whole time, swearing on their life it was the best SMG. And you know, honestly, subjectively, you know, fine. I mean, if you did well with the PDW, you did well with the PDW, but for me, the accuracy is the big thing here. The accuracy nerf, if you were in a challenge at range, these two guns were a lot better for that, so, yeah. The Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper is an A tier weapon, and it's not S tier for me because the fire rate, I just remember it being kind of low. Am I getting that right? I think it was low. If you could listen to the gun, it kind of like, it had a deep voice for an SMG. It was like you know what I mean? It could challenge assault rifles, but I think any assault rifle could outgun it. It wasn't quite as accurate as assault rifles at range. It was good. It was pretty powerful. I don't think the MSMC or the MP7 really would have a problem outgunning that at any sort of range or even close range. I think just the fire rate on these two would have taken this one out. Like I said, I don't have stats for it, but I'm kind of just thinking back like 8 years. Making sure we're not missing any SMGs. We're not missing any SMGs. Okay. Alright. Let's move on to, we'll do secondaries last. Let's move on to sniper rifles. And I'm gonna start with a sniper rifle that I'm very biased toward. Where is he? Where the heck is he? I'm missing? There he is. The SR50, S tier weapon. It was a one-shot kill from the waist and above, bolt action sniper. Me and Luke used to play S&D, and we would run around with these guns, slap a silencer on that baby. Not a lot of people did this, but the silencer on the DSR basically did nothing for its like damage. It literally, and I mean it did nothing to nerf its damage. It would still one shot with a good shot, and we used to run around with this and a Sounds 5.7 in the back. I remember on the map Express, we were mid where like the ticket booth is. We ended up there, it was like a 2v2 on search. And I remember seeing the enemy behind Luke, and he sees the enemy behind me, and we pull out our 5.7s, and we kill those enemies back, like, just like with our backs to those enemies, but like shooting each other's enemy from like in front. It was just really, really nutty, and it was really cool, and I'll remember that to this day. So I'm very biased with the DSR, but honestly, for conventional sniping, for
hard scope,
You creep.
You trash bag hard scoper.
but like, yeah, that was the better gun. Now, if we're going to talk about quickscoping, the Ballista is there in A tier for this reason, because it could not one shot from waist and above, it was a one shot from chest and above. And so, if you were going to hit clips, if you're going to post like this to your YouTube and be like, Sit 360 No scope, YY, ladder stall, shot. Like, yeah, this was the weapon for that. You wanted to get clips, you played with the ballista, you quick scope the heck out of people, it was fine. I also didn't like the scope on this as good. Sorry. The scope on this, as much as I liked the DSR, it had like the little red part in like the crosshair, which was, it was weird for me. So that's why the ballista is in an A tier. For me, at least, not S tier. The redheaded stepchild of the sniper rifles. Where is it? The XPR 50. Long ADS time. It could one shot. I'm pretty sure it was one shot from waist and above. But it had an insane kind of recoil on it. It wasn't bolt action, but like with the way it jumped, it might as well have been. You might as well have been using one of these. And no one really used it, so that's why I call it the redheaded stepchild, because it just didn't get a lot of use. It probably wasn't a really bad weapon objectively. It's just you could use other things over it, and do pretty well with it. Like if you were gonna go with like a semi-auto sniper anyway, you might as well use the SVU, which is gonna be B tier, because at least you could spam it. At least you could put like an ACOG on it, or like a closer sight at least, and you know, just kind of spam this baby with a silencer on it and use it kind of like a discount foul. But yeah, that's the way those are gonna rank. Any more snipers? Did I miss any snipers, or is that it? That's it? Okay. I don't think I'm missing any. Let's move on to move on to, sorry, I'm blanking. LMGs. I said there's gonna be a lot of S tier in this video, guys, and there is, because there's so many good weapons. I'll try to balance it out, but I'm just doing what I feel. The LSAT, god dang, LSAT was insane. It was insane pretty much the whole run of Black Ops 2. I remember LSAT target finder was just ridiculous. Camp with an LSAT and a target finder, and you honestly could just do insane stuff. I remember playing on Hijacked and just wrecking shop, because admittedly I was camping, but I was camping spawn playing Dom, and I would just LSAT target finder like at the top of the boat, just look down to their spawn, and they just spawned all right in front of you. You had to come out from that area, and like you could just spray them down. A high mag, a high damage, no recoil. The target finder really just like it eliminated the recoil. I don't know if it ever got nerfed, but it eliminated the recoil, and it was just ridiculous. So that's why that one's in S tier. It was just crazy, and it's probably the only LMG that's going to be in S tier. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I did not use a ton of LMGs. I'm going to assume this gun was good. It looks like, I don't know, an M60 from Black Ops Original, maybe an M240 or something. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is not the most professional tier list ever. It's really subjective. Like, I'm really just doing this like for fun. What is this, L86? This had high recoil. I remember this wasn't very good. That's what I was gonna go. If any of you care about LMGs, I'm really sorry. I don't really know as many people that care about LMGs, and I really didn't and don't. The hammer, I do remember that though. That was okay. Like a souped up Scar. You know what I mean? And that could deal damage pretty good. Of course, high magazine. Like, the reason LMGs, the reason I don't care, the reason I'm ranking these so fast is just because, like, first of all, I did not use them a lot. And second, I didn't camp a ton. When I did, I was using this. And, like, LMGs, you don't want to run around with those, you know what I mean? They have a weird spot in Call of Duty meta all the time. Any other LMGs I missed? Nope. Great. Shotguns. Fun fact, shotguns, I got Diamond. Because I wanted something to be Diamond, and I didn't want to do the work, putting in all the work with, like, the different types of classes that had more weapons in them. Like, how many shotguns were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, okay, easy, we'll just do those. So, fun fact, the first gun that I ever used Diamond was the S12. Is that what this was called? Decent gun. It was kind of like it was like a spam shotgun. It was pretty good. I think it's a discount M12 though. which had a faster spam. Not sure the ranges on these things still, but both of them could melt. But I remember the M12 being better at doing that. Yeah, that's really all I had to say. The design of the S12 is interesting. It looks kind of like it might be an assault rifle, but it's not. It's a shotgun. Anyway, I had these diamond. The KSG is B tier because it had that long range slug with ADS that could honestly was it just ADS or was it all the time? I think it was all the time. Had that long range slug where you could kind of like snipe people ish with it. The reason it's B tier is because you did have to be accurate, and if you missed that first slug shot, you're gonna die. So yeah, B tier for being powerful, but also B tier for having a high skill gap to use. Honestly, a higher skill gap than you would think in COD. The Remington, A tier weapon. I think it's not S tier just because if you were at really any sort of range with it, actually that's a lie. If you were at like a little bit of range with it, it could one shot. But I feel like, I don't know. I really just honestly, I feel like I have too many weapons in S tier. That's why I'm putting this in A tier. So maybe that's not fair. But Remington, you're gonna stay in A tier because you were probably the best shotgun. But that being said, you're a shotgun and you get outgunned by these if you were probably any sort of range. Sorry about it. Is that it for shotguns? I believe so. Moving on to pistols. First, we're gonna start with this B23R. This gun was insane. This gun, if you slap dual on these babies, they would just kind of rip and tear. Like you could just burst these and it wouldn't even make a difference because there was almost no burst delay here and almost like really no recoil, especially if you put on those laser sights on both of those. And you could just challenge anything with this at medium to close range. It was just kind of unfair. Even with one of these things, before you ranked it up enough to get a Kimbo, you could challenge most things with any skill and do well. So B23R is S tier secondary. Cat 40 A tier secondary. This was one of the first guns that they introduced in Call of Duty, and like I read the description for it, and little 13, 14-year-old me was like, "Oh my god, recoil mitigation!" Like it just felt like this new thing, and all that meant in Call of Duty basically was like there's a different animation for recoil when you were ADSing, and it made you feel different. They fooled me. But as far as its output, almost as good as the B23R, dual wielded. You can honestly just switch between these two if you want to, like just depending on what you were feeling that day. But the B23R was like objectively better. But yeah, Cat 40 was fun to use. Short mag, but hit your shots and you're probably getting the kill. TAC 45. Oh, what? I didn't mean to move that. TAC 45. Is it trash? Is TAC 45 trash? We'll wait. We'll do the 5.7 first. The 5.7 is a as much as I like it, I gotta put it B tier, just because it doesn't really live up to the potential it could in pistols with the Cat 40 and stuff. It was semi-auto. It can kill pretty quickly. It was basically your kind of average COD pistol, like your M1911 type of thing. And it was good, not great. Don't really know much more to say about it. The Executioner, this thing, it was insane. It was a shotgun pistol you could just spam at close range and just annihilate people with. It didn't have a ton of range on it, so it's not an S tier, but it was just really unfair at a certain point. And any of the A tier, S tier pistols you could dual wield really easy, so that's why that one is there. TAC 45, honestly, no one uses this gun, right? If you use this gun, I'm sorry, it's not very good. It just wasn't as good as any of these other pistols. It had higher recoil than the 5.7, which makes it and it was like semi-auto, which makes it like a discount 5.7 almost. It just wasn't the same. And now we finally have specials. Look, the knife. Where do I even put the knife? Do I even rank it? I don't want to put the knife in trash tier. It's a knife. Screw it. I'm not ranking the knife, guys. You bring a knife to a gunfight, it's just not going to be as good. I'm just not going to rank it. It doesn't feel fair to rank it. You know what I mean? But if I'm going to rank it as far as like specials go, We'll think about it. I'll be completely honest. This part of the tier list is going to be absolute trash. Because I did not use... I don't remember what this thing was called. Is that a Stinger? I don't remember what this thing is called. This looks like a lock-on to air missiles. I mean, kill streaks. You can stop watching now if you want. Like, this part, I really don't even know where I'm gonna put this. What do I say about these? I mean, the crossbow. Trash. Trash. Good. Of course, RPG. And, honestly, C tier. And the knife. Goodbye, guys. I hope you had a fun time watching this kind of jacked up tier list. Maybe you agree with some of these things, maybe you don't. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.